right. So anything else you want to say before we tackle some of the questions from the audience?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. I would say don't just be, if you're non-psychic or medium or intuitive or and this is the thing about remote viewing. Again, anybody can learn it, and you will find out where you are intuitive through the process of remote viewing as well. You will find out a lot about yourself and your gifts. And when you were saying, can you go back in time? Yes, and you can also go back in time for decisions that you made. So say you made a decision to, and I'll use an example that's known in the remote viewing circle, to buy a house. Right. And just when you were right up as you were just about to sign on the dotted line, something came over you. You became very anxious and you decided not to sign.
Right.
Well, 10 years later, an airport went in right next to your house.
Uh-oh.
And you want to send information because that was a really good signal you received from your body, your gut. So you want to send information back to that date and time or that event. Hey, congratulating yourself. Thank you so much for not signing and listening to your body.
Yeah.
So you can do that with remote viewing. Similarly, if you're out on a date with somebody, you're seeing all the red flags, you're dismissing them. Next thing, 5 years later, you got 2 kids, you're in an abusive relationship, and you never want to do that again. You can also go back in time, send that information back when you should have paid attention to those red flags. And that really sharpens your gut instinct.
That's good. So can I remote view my next life, for example?
That could be a possibility. I mean, I can do it, but yeah, that
maybe not me, but can one do it?
Oh yes, certainly.
Somebody who's been really well trained.
Yes, yes, that is a
same with past life. You can one explore their own past life?
Yes,
to sort of get into the different traumas and losses and challenges and lessons, basically.
Yes, you can use remote viewing as a tool for that. I actually have a better tool for that, and actually a clearing mechanism, and I'll have to talk about it on another show. Consciousness transformation techniques.
Right.
I am the only creator approved. When I say creator, the person that created that system, approved practitioner in the world that does the consciousness transformation techniques.
Wow.
That's actually better than remote viewing because you're going into that past life, traumatic events, and then we do a system of clearing out, and then we link it to the current life lesson, and you learn a lot about yourself, and you can process it, get rid of that energy, and move forward with your life, because we're often very trapped by our past life traumatic events.
Yeah, and I think if you'll allow me to let the cat out of the bag, Liz and I want to do a live session where we do this for a mass audience live. Is that correct? And we want to do it like for a holiday gift, kind of prior to or during the holidays.
Oh yes,
So
I mean,
hit the notification bell so you don't miss that one.
Yeah, I would love to do that, and as many people that we can, and we all use the tapping modality. Well, it's real easy to do, and then you would just repeat after me, and we're going in, we're clearing out a lot of stuff, like, anxiety and fear is huge, because we make decisions out of love or fear.
Oh yeah, that's the 2 sides of the coin.
Yeah, and you really want to get to the point you're making decisions out of love. Now, I think we go further than that. We make decisions out of self-love more so than just love, because some guy could beat you up and then you say, but I love him and I'm going to stay with him. No, that's not a good decision, right?
No.
But if you love yourself, you're not going to stay.
No, you're going to kick him to the curb.
Yeah, right. So if we can transmute that, making decisions out of fear or irrational love, then, and transmute it into making decisions out of self-love. I think that should be our theme, our Christmas gift or our Thanksgiving gift theme.
Self-love.
Yeah.
give yourself the gift of loving yourself.
Yes, absolutely. So I think that would be great for your audience. Again, your audience are always so nice. Every
Oh,
person I've
I love them
spoken to.
so much. They don't even know. I truly, really love them. And when I think about the person in the scalar field, when I'm doing scalar work, I send them like my maternal love, which is very strong, much to the chagrin of my kids when I still ask them to sit in my lap. But anyway, but it's like I start sobbing sometimes because the love is just so great. But anyway, okay, let me read some of these from those awesome questions from the awesome people. Let's see. This is interesting. I can remote view when my boyfriend puts his left ear on my heart. Is there some sort of secret with the left ear and the heart of two beautiful human beings in love?
Yes.
Yeah, tell us about that then.
Yes, that's interesting. And the reason being is a lot of our psychic energy, psychic ability is in the chest and the throat area. So if that person is connecting to you and putting their head there, then that does not surprise me that you see things more clearly when they're right next to you. Your energy is right there. It's on top of one another. Yeah,
that Siamese twins connected right like that. Just walk around in life. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right. Can remote viewing be used to go to other solar systems that have planets with life on them?
Absolutely. And that is a very popular thing that remote viewers do. They use it to view, and I do that as well. Yeah, you can definitely view things. Now, the problem is remote viewing likes to get a lot of feedback, confirmation that you were right about your target.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you're remote viewing out in space, you're not going to get that confirmation back necessarily. But I talk to planets all the time. So not only do I mind probe people, but I also mind probe like the moon.
Those are beautiful beings.
They are.
Some of the most evolved beings are these celestial beings. It's so cool. Like Gaia. But you don't have to go just to planets that have life on them, right? You can go to others. You can go to like Venus, you can go to the sun, and you don't have to get burned, right?
Yeah, right. You can go wherever you want to go.
Are there planets that you can mind probe that the life there, intelligent life there, can actually have a conversation with you if they know how to interact with a remote viewer? Or is it just simply, I'm at the zoo looking at the gorilla behind a thick plate of glass? I don't know why.
That's a great question. That depends upon your own abilities.
Yeah.
Often I channel aliens a lot. I had aliens making crypto calls, right? It was one of the funniest videos I ever did. And you know what? It was right.
Wow. That is so cool.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, you can talk to life forms. Oftentimes they're just like an amoeba. Certainly what I've come across, but yeah, nothing is off limits with remote viewing. I mean, there are ethical implications.
Yeah. What do you get from an amoeba? Oh God, I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm not any faster. I gotta cause some diarrhea in this person. That'll spice my life up some.
Yeah, really.
All right. Is there a visual? No, can you? Oh, I'd love to mind probe my dog Bella. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I can do
I always
that.
wonder what they think. I'm hungry. I think I'll go to the bowl and.
Yeah, the animal. So I probe animals a lot for people because they're like, did my animals like me? Or I've moved my new boyfriend in and I don't think my dog likes him very much, So I do probe, but yes, it is not as sophisticated as probing a human.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. But you can probe to figure out what's wrong with them, maybe. Where do you hurt? Things like that.
Oh yeah.
All right. Is there a visualization that we can use in mediation, probably meditation, to better incorporate the skill of remote viewing? Some sort of meditation visualization?
Well, yes. I mean, the best thing that you can do is you have to calm your logical mind. So that's the big challenge with remote viewers, is trying to set your logical mind to one side and being able to pull information in a pure way. So, say for instance, a lot of people are wrapped up in pop. Oh, here's a classic one. Here's a classic one. And I got to be careful what I say here. But an election outcome. I won't say names because then, YouTube get all crazy and everything.
Oh yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. No.
All the remote viewers, every single one of them got that, maybe this individual would win the election, and it turned out it was all wrong.
Interesting. Why? Are you there, Liz?
Information is going to be dead wrong.
Oh, you cut out. Right after you said, and the information was wrong, and then it blanked out. What did you say during that time?
I am so sorry. So, when you're emotionally involved in a target,
oh yeah,
you can't, you forget it. And usually remote viewing targets are double blind. So somebody gives you the task, they don't know what it is, and then you're viewing it, you don't know what it is. And that's to keep all emotional and psychological bias out of your target. But at that time, you'll have your conscious mind saying, oh, okay, I think I know what this is. And you've really got to fight, and you train your mind to set aside your logical mind and just go with what impressions you're receiving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you remote view to the future? We already answered that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is interesting. What's the difference between remote viewing and astral travel?
Oh, I like that.
That is an awesome question.
It is. Your audience, they're really great.
They're so smart.
They are. Well, they have a smart person in charge. So
I don't know. I learn more from them probably. But all right. So what is the difference, or is there?
Yes, there is. So astral travel is not really controlled, and remote viewing is actually controlled remote viewing, is what it's called. CRV, controlled remote viewing.
Okay.
You're controlling the flow of information. Just going back to that example of, I need to know what happened to this murder victim between this time and this time, right? Well, if I'm just asking spirit are going to say, well, this happened, that happened, but there's no time frame in there, right? There's no way to control the flow of that information coming in. So remote viewing actually controls the flow. So you can combine astral travel with remote viewing. There is a group that does that. You set your target. So you would say, I want to astral travel tonight in my sleep, and this is where I want to go. And you can do it that way. So you're controlling it more.
Okay, cool. Very cool. All right. What are remote viewing and astral projection? No, I'm sorry. Read it wrong. Why are remote viewing and astral projection perceived as satanic? I didn't know they were. So misunderstood.
Yeah, I think
we're speaking to the devil, things like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is social construct and conscious mind construct that we've have adopted throughout the time. I mean, I channel Jesus all the time. And if I'm not supposed to channel Jesus, I wouldn't be able to talk to him on a regular basis, right?
So Jesus was a medium.
Right, exactly. Jesus was a medium, and but he also has limitations. So sometimes there's, are we supposed to talk to aliens? No, we're not. Well, of course Jesus is going to say that, because aliens are not from source, and source are completely different, and aliens
source system.
Different.
I'm sure they come from a different source system, maybe.
Exactly, they do. And they circumvent the laws of source law. So of course, Jesus is going to say, well, no, we're bound by source law, and you're not supposed to channel aliens. But, we do anyway. I don't think it's negative. I think you have to be able to control. I understand why he says it's negative too, because the problem is aliens want you to contact them all the time. And they want to be consulted with on all sorts of information. And aliens, unfortunately, they're so powerful that they have the ability to hijack the conscious mind. So
Yeah.
you'll find there is a particular remote viewing group out there, and they go to, remote view the Eiffel Tower. And next thing you know, every remote view leads back to aliens constructed it and flew it down into Paris. And that's because they have contacted aliens so much that their conscious mind has been hijacked, and all the aliens information bleeds into the session.
But I thought what Eric said, Eric, you can chime in. Hi, I love you. That everything is, God is all there is, and God is love, the energy of love, and that is light. And that there's a spectrum of light, like the evil stuff is still light, but it's the darker end, and so on and so forth, that everything is included. Is it just chopped up in different source systems?
Yes, that's correct. So we are governed by the source, God, love, all of that. Yes, but you have to go far beyond that. And with remote viewing, you can, and you'll go far beyond that, and you'll find that there are different systems out there. And
okay, very cool. All right. I saw on YouTube an interview of Dr. Barry Taff, where he talks about a group remote viewing session in which they described the next week's target appearing at the lab. They described a woman sitting at a particular chair. The following week, the woman came in and sat in that exact chair. She claimed she didn't know she was to appear until a few hours ago. Dr. Taft concluded that the past information still exists and future information already exists. Well, yeah, because there's no time. That's a human construct. Does this mean that future events that affect us individually are already set in place? Also, will the machine be developed to see future events?
Wow, that is a great question.
I'm telling you.
Yes and yes. That is a great question. So yes, oftentimes you don't want to go too far out into the future when you're doing your remote view, because the closer the energy is to you, the more accurate it is. If you're looking, several, but mind you, in saying that, I've done remote views which have been 200 years out. It's actually scary how we live 200 years from now. But yeah, so yes, you're going to get that information, and that's interesting that she came in and sat down on that exact chair. She probably looked exactly as they sketched her to look in the remote viewing session. Yes, I would say just about everything is by design. You just have to, be able to capture all the information. And some information we're not supposed to know, right?
Yeah.
Some information. So, when I started following Putin last December, prior to last December, so even like October, November, we weren't getting information that a war was coming. Well, 2 years prior to that, I did say Russia was going to start a war. Now, fast forward to October, November, there wasn't even really talk of war until December. And then it was like the timeline kind of shifted at that point, especially for the economy and the financial markets. And what happened was war created that massive dark vacuum, and it starts pulling everything down because, energy attracts energy. So that dark energy was being pulled down, and here come the markets crashing down and everything else in the economy. So sometimes we're not supposed to know that information. Now, if you're connecting with source for that information, you're not going to get a lot of it, because that's, you're not supposed to know.
Right. There's a lot of stuff we're not supposed to know. All right. Before we close, first of all, write this down, psychiclizcross.com. But also I want to ask Eric if you want to add anything else about remote viewing.
Oh gosh, that's nice. And Erik is here. He's saying, hi, Mom. He's blowing you a kiss as always. He says it's an excellent, useful tool, and you can use it for your scalar.
Oh, okay. I'll have to figure that one out.
Yeah, he's saying you can remote view which frequencies that are required. He's telling.
Oh, okay. Well, you usually help me with that too.
Well, yes, but if people wanted to do a practice target as well, they
Okay.
could use you could get a lot of information, and you can also move. So say you're going to do a scalar session Friday at 12 noon, okay?
Right.
And you're going to work on, I don't know, a hand cramp. Just say a hand cramp. I don't
Okay.
know where that came from. He just Erik told me, I don't know.
Okay.
Now, you want to move out a week past that event of you using scalar, and you're going to remote view how effective it was.
Oh, and whether I needed to add additional frequencies or, yeah, okay, or change. the frequency.
Absolutely, yes.
So that's
I
cool.
mean, it is cool, and I think I can't wait to learn more about your scalar. I think that's awesome.
All right,
And
I'll send you all that info. Well, this was awesome, Liz, and I can't wait to do our CTT.
yes, thank you.
Y'all
Thank
stay
you.
tuned for it, and please subscribe to Liz Cross's YouTube channel as well. Just look
Oh,
up
yeah.
Psychic Liz Cross, and you'll find it's really incredible. All right, thank you, Erik. Thank you, Liz. Love you both,
Love you too.
and love you all.
Love
Bye.
to all. Thank you.